Hello YouTube, this is The Bucket coming at you today with my range review on the Live Free Armory AMP. That stands for Aluminum Match Pistol. This has the X frame or the Glock 17 style frame. It holds 17 round Glock magazines. I did put a 2-round extension on this particular one. Let's talk about the specs of this gun. It comes in at 5¼ inches in its height. Its overall width is 1.275 inches. Its overall length is 7.1 inches. Its barrel length is 3.925 inches, and its weight comes in at 2.1 pounds. This is a gun. So basically what ended up happening is when the Gen 3 Glock patents ran out, everybody started making Glock Gen 3 clones. And what Live Free Armory did was said, let's not make a polymer frame. Let's go ahead and come up with a modular system and come up with an aluminum frame. So the idea behind it is that the gun is actually this module that's in the center of the gun. And you can go ahead, and it's probably easier to show on this blank frame. You punch out a pin here, punch out a pin here, and then the module comes out, and you could put it in like a Glock 19 style frame or like this Glock 17 style frame. You can have different colors. You can do lots of different things. And they decided to put lightning cuts all over this particular thing, the top, the sides. They went ahead and put an RMR cut on it, have a cool little plate here. They put a fiber optic front with a blacked out rear. That was kind of the idea behind it. And when you put this gun in your hand, it feels absolutely amazing. It's like something kind of different than everything else out on the market. And then when you look a little bit closer, you could see that some of the things that they did look really nice, but were poorly executed. So I put in less than 200 rounds before that fiber optic front sight just popped off right on me. When I was doing dry fire drills, before I even got it to the range, I started losing some of the finish on the barrel. Now, that's not going to affect how it operates, but it's going to look kind of ugly. I also noticed as soon as I got it out of the box that the trigger sometimes would reset and sometimes would not. Now, in Live Free Armory's defense, if I was holding the trigger down like you would when you were firing it at 100% reset, but that made me fear it a little bit. Also, I decided that I would change out to try to change out the module, the centerpiece here. And while taking out the module was really pretty easy, I noticed that it didn't give you another magazine release. And that's one of the few things about this that isn't Glock parts, which means that when I looked up on their website, you couldn't even order another one. So if you wanted to order, so all you had to do is take the module out and then just put the slide back on, you can't even do that. A lot of little things like that that were poorly executed, such as this was the Glock 17 frame and it didn't come with grips. And so now the Glock 19 style frame grips will fit on the Glock 17, but you can see just it's kind of like the finish rubbing off the barrel so quickly, it just doesn't look quite right, and there just aren't a lot of options out there to make it look pretty. And anytime that you're going to be selling something like that, you know, you kind of hope that they're gonna hit those points a little bit better, which they just didn't. So I took it to the range and I wanted to have it really work correctly. And I will have to admit that this is one of the worst functioning pistols that I've ever had an opportunity to run. The Zip 22 actually runs worse, but this was close. I never fired more than 5 rounds without having one failure. The failures that I experienced the most was failures to extract. So then I would have the previous spent casing wouldn't come out of the barrel, and another bullet would be trying to get in there. So I'd have to drop the slide, rack it. Probably that would happen once every 5 rounds. About once every 7 to 8 rounds, I would have a light primer strike. Literally never had anything about this gun run correctly. It was awful. And I would, you know, I'll be honest with you, I picked up this Llama XIB, and they have a lot of bad reputations, but this thing ran 100% reliably. I just had a friend that said to me, I want to own my first gun. I recommended the Tissos PX9, which is a lot cheaper than this pistol. And the Tissos's, those PX pistols, or the Zagana pistols, have had a lot of negative press in the background, and they've just gotten better and better and better. And I hope Live Free Armory will iron out all the kinks. Now, this is an early in production gun. You know, they still haven't, these really aren't, they're just now starting to get out to the market, but I will tell anybody that's thinking about buying one of these pistols, do not buy one. There are so many better options out there at the same price point. You can get guns cheaper that are going to run so much more reliably than this. You can get more expensive guns that the features are going to actually run the way that they're supposed to. Everything about this gun was terrible. I can't see any reason why somebody would want to buy this pistol if it's going to have the type of reliability that I had. Now, I want to, you know, put a disclaimer in there. I may have just had a gun it was a Friday and a guy was trying to get out of the factory early and he just, you know, didn't put together this gun particularly well. But with so many different things being wrong on this pistol, I just have a hard time telling people that, you know, you may have better luck. I would guess that everybody would have a similar level of luck where there would be lots of things that just didn't operate correctly with the pistol. So I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm the only person that had any problems with their Live Free Armory pistol, and I hope everybody that owns one of these is having much better luck than I did. So if it were me, buy any other pistol other than this. You can get a Taurus that's going to run a lot better. Again, the Tissos PX9 is going to run a lot better, and there's a lot of other, I mean, heck, you can buy a Glock, which this was inspired by, and it's going to run a million times better than this gun ever will. So I do want to thank everybody for supporting the channel. All the likes, the comments, the shares are really, really appreciated. And as always, you stay classy, YouTube.
I learned a lesson. Never half-ass two things. Whole-ass one thing.